What is up, homies? My name is Felix, and today I will be showing you guys how to make a kind of lo-fi slash old school hip-hop kind of beat. I know some of you have been asking for a tutorial like this, so here it is. Today I will be bringing it to you. So before we get this video started, I just wanted to say I have a beat store, and I'll put the link in the description below if you're interested in purchasing any beats from me. And I'll also put a link in the description to all the songs I've produced and my Instagram and Soundcloud and all that stuff if you want to check that out. So yeah, let's get started. So the most important thing that I would say for this video is your drums. You want to make sure that you have a specific type of sound for your drums. You need that kind of lo-fi, kind of old school hip-hop kind of sound. And I would recommend just going on Google and searching up like lo-fi drum kit, old school hip-hop drum kit. My personal favorite that I will probably be using mostly out of today is this J Dilla drum kit. And this is a very good drum kit. It has like pretty much all the sounds you'll ever need. It's got like a bazillion of them, as you can see. So yeah, that's what I'll probably be using mainly today. So I'm gonna pick some drums and then I will be right back. Okay folks, so here we have our drums that I've picked out. I picked out 2 snares, a kick, a closed hi-hat, an open hi-hat, and a shaker. So yeah, here's what they sound like. As you can hear, they're kind of that lo-fi, you know, old school, kind of low quality kind of sound. And that's exactly what you want for this video. Next thing you want to look at is the tempo. I'm going to put the tempo at a nice little, like 90 BPM is fine. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a triple oscillator, because we're actually going to make our own bass for this video, which is going to be pretty epic. We're not going to use an 808, we're going to use like a sub bass is what they call it, because it has more sub frequencies. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab the Sonatina orchestra plugin that I used in the last, I think it was the last video. If you don't have this plugin, all you got to do is you got to just go on over to good old Google and search it up, and you will download it and find it. And I'm gonna click on the piano because it has a pretty nice sounding piano. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the sustain up, turn the decay up a little bit, and turn this down a little bit. So now we're gonna have a nice little sounding piano, and it's gonna be good. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is probably make the drum, and then I'm gonna also do this so that we have enough space to work with. So yeah, we pretty much have everything we need now, and now I'm gonna get started on the beat. So with the snare, you're gonna place it here just like so, and then the hi-hats we're gonna do like this for now, but we're gonna go in and change them just a little bit later. And now I'm gonna add the kick. Okay, so I want to do a thing here, and that sounds a little too far spaced away for what I'm trying to go for here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this, and then I'm going to hit this, and then we're going to bring this over just a little bit. And I'm going to bring the velocity on this down. And now it's going to sound like this. And as you can hear, it's got a little bit of a swing to it now. It sounds pretty nice and pretty good. So I'm going to hold down Control and Select, and then drag this bad boy over here. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, except add this. So it's going to sound like this. So yeah, pretty standard pattern, but I think it sounds pretty good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here and do the thing I was talking about earlier. And basically what we're going to do is we can put this to 100. We're going to vary the velocities on these, so it sounds a little bit more human and a little bit more like real sounding. So now it'll be like this. As you can hear, adds a little bit of a bounce to it. Now the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control and select all these again. And then I'm going to go into 200. And then I'm just gonna hold down Alt, and then drag these over just a little bit, just a tiny bit, to add some more, you know, humanness to it. And you're not gonna see them there, but they're there, as you can hear. So yeah, sounds pretty good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this open hat, but I'm going to turn it way down a little bit because, you know, we don't want it to be too loud. Here's how it sounds with the open hat. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this shaker because it doesn't really fit anywhere. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this triple oscillator, and I'm just going to make the bass that we're going to use. So I'm just going to turn both these bad boys down. I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to leave that there. And then this I'm going to have like that. And so your bass should sound, for now it's going to sound like that. But the other thing we need to do is go in here and go to the envelope, turn up the amount, and then turn this up just a little bit. And this is going to be way lower, so it's going to sound like this. And then I'm going to make this a little longer. That sounds about right for now, but I'm going to delete that because we're going to make the bass according to whatever chords we do. So naturally that means that next is the chords. So for this I like to have this full screen because it gives me a little bit more, you know, control. And I'm going to do it like I usually do in the key of A minor, and then I'm going to transpose it later on. So the first thing we're going to do is, because this is on last note, it'll play this little note. We're going to put it to 1. And then switch it back to last note, and now we can move this around. It doesn't have to be a big long note. So now I'm going to mess around with some chords, and I will get back to you guys. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Right now it sounds a little bit muddy, but once we transpose it, I'm going to transpose it up so it sounds higher pitchedness, and then it's going to sound much better then. But right now, here's how it sounds. So yeah, that's how it sounds so far. Another thing I did was I went into the actual plugin thingy. I went here, and then I clicked on the release, and then I turned it up a little bit so it sounds better. But yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy this, hit a new baseline editor, paste it, and then I'm going to go back in here and then clear all notes, and then I'm going to go back into here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this longer and add some more variation so it's not so repetitive and kind of boring sounding. So I'm going to hit Control and then click and select all of these, and I'm going to hold down Shift, click, drag it over, and now you got 2 of them. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter some of these notes so that it has kind of a different second half. Okay everyone, I am back, and I've made the second half, the little variation on the pattern, and it sounds like this. So yeah, I think that sounds pretty good and pretty nice. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to X out of here, and we're going to go into here, and with the triple oscillator, with the little bass that we made, we're going to figure out the notes from here. And what we can actually do, we can hit Control and Shift at the same time, and then select all these bad boys, and now hit Control C, and now we're going to go back into here, piano roll, Control V, boom, now you got all the notes from your pattern that you've created. And these are a little high, so we're gonna hit Control and then down. And there's a little bit of clickiness going on, so we're gonna go into the triple oscillator and turn this up and this up a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut these short a little bit. Okay, so I've adjusted the length of some of these bass notes, and now it's going to sound like this. But now remember, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transpose this pattern here. So I'm going to hit shift and then click it up a few times and then see how it sounds. I think that sounds pretty good. So now we just have to remember what note this starts on, and this note right here is an E. So go back into 0 and then put this on E, and we'll probably have to go into this one, but I'm not sure. We might have to change the piano to accommodate the bass, because I think it sounds a little bit low. I want a little bit higher, so I'm gonna move this up like to like 3. I think that sounds okay, but now we have to figure out what note this is on, and this note is a G. So I'm gonna go back in here, and now it's a G. So I think that should sound pretty good now. We're pretty much done. Here's how the whole thing sounds at the moment. So, not gonna lie, I think that sounded pretty good. Okay, so right now I'm gonna do something that I have never done before on this channel, I don't think, and it's mess around with effects. I really want this triple oscillator, a little bad boy thing here, to be more stereo sounding. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into here, and then I'm gonna add one of these. Click here, go to stereo enhancer effect. And then I'm going to go into the triple oscillator, bump that up to 1, and now hit this all the way to wide. And now your bass is going to sound really wide in your ears. Okay, so I think that sounded pretty good. I think the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add another Sonatina orchestra. I'm just going to add a little bit of strings. I think I'm just going to do violin. And then I'm going to copy and paste. So I think that adds a nice little accent there. And now we're pretty much done. All we have to do is separate the beat out and we'll be done. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up this video. I just laid out this portion of the beat. I'm going to let it play for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to leave your questions in the comments below, and I will get back to you. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Cause you know that I'm official.